वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा मदन मोहन राधे। जय जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा। जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय। Hai Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सता भय चरण अरविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन प्रतिष्ठाता आचार्य शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सता भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। नामाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम राम। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 20. We'll take text 30 and 31. Verse 2. We'll recite together the slokas. मन्ये गिरं ते जगतां विमोहिनीं वरं वृणीष्वेति भजन्त्यमार्थयत् वाचानुतन्त्या यदि ते जनोषिता कथं पुनः कर्म करोति मोहिता। मन्ये गिरं ते जगतां विमोहिनीं वरं वृणीष्वेति भजन्तमार्थयत् वाचानुतन्त्या यदि ते जनोषिता कथं पुनः कर्म करोति मोहिता। मन्ये गिरं ते जगतां विमोहिनीं वरं वृणीष्वेति भजन्त्यमार्थयत् वाचानुतन्त्या यदि ते जनोषिता कथं पुनः कर्म करोति मोहिता। मन्ये गिरं ते जगतां विमोहिनीं वरं वृणीष्वेति भजन्तमार्थयत् वाचानुतन्त्या यदि ते जनोषिता कथं पुनः कर्म करोति मोहिता। मन्ये गिरं ते जगतां विमोहिनीं वरं वृणीष्वेति भजन्तमार्थयत् वाचानुतन्त्या यदि ते जनोषिता कथं पुनः कर्म करोति मोहिता। मन्ये गिरं ते जगतां विमोहिनीं वरं वृणीष्वेति भजन्तमार्थयत् वाचानुतन्त्या यदि ते जनोषिता कथं पुनः कर्म करोति मोहिता। मन्ये, I consider, गिरम words, te, your, Jagatam, to the material world, Vimohinim, bewildering, Varam, benediction, Vrinisva, just accept, Iti, in this way, Bhajantam, unto your devotee, Atha, you spoke, Yat, because, Vacha, by the statements of the Vedas, Nu, certainly, Tantya, by the ropes, Yadi, if, Te, your, Jana, the people in general, Asitaha, not bound, Katham, how, Punaha, again and again, Karma, fruitive activities, Karoti, perform, Mohita, being enamored. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sorry. My dear Lord, what you have said to your unalloyed devotee is certainly very much bewildering. The allurements you offer in the Vedas are certainly not suitable for pure devotees. People in general, bound by the sweet words of the Vedas, engage themselves again and again in fruitive activities, enamored by the results of their actions. Purport. Srila Narottam Das Thakur, a great Acharya of the Gaudiya Sampradaya, has said that persons who are very much attached to the fruitive activities of the Vedas, namely Karmakand and Jnanakand, are certainly doomed. In the Vedas, there are three categories of activities known as Karmakanda, fruitive activities, Jnanakanda, philosophical research, and Upasana Kanda, worship of different demigods for receiving material benefits. Those who are engaged in Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda are doomed in the sense that everyone is doomed who is entrapped by this material body. Whether it is a body of a demigod, a king, a lower animal, or whatever. The suffering of the threefold miseries of material nature are the same for all. Cultivation of knowledge to understand one's spiritual position is also, to a certain extent, a waste of time. Because the living entity is an eternal part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, his immediate business is to engage himself in devotional service. Prithu Maharaj therefore says that the allurement of material benediction is another trap to entangle one in this material world. He therefore frankly tells that the Lord's offering of benedictions in the form of material facilities are certainly cause of bewilderment. A pure devotee is not at all interested in bhukti or mukti. The Lord sometimes offers benediction to the neophyte devotees who have not yet understood that material facilities will not make them happy. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Lord therefore says that a sincere devotee who is not very intelligent may ask some material benefit from the Lord, but the Lord, being omniscient, does not generally give material rewards, but on the contrary takes away whatever material facilities are being enjoyed by his devotee, so that ultimately the devotee will completely surrender unto him. In other words, the offering of benediction in the form of material profit is never auspicious for the devotee. The statement of the Vedas, which offer elevation to heavenly planet in exchange for great sacrifice, are simply bewildering. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Yam imam puspitam vacham pravadanti avipaschita. The less intelligent class of man, avipaschita, attracted by the flowery language of the Vedas, engage in fruity activities to become materially benefited. Thus they continue life after life in different bodily forms to search very, very hard. So I was told to speak on 31, so I'll continue with that 31. Take both slokas. Hmm? I was told to speak on 31 actually. Eh? Uh, Vanmayayada janaisa khandito yadanyadasa Vanmayayada janaisa khandito Vanmayayada janaisa yadanyadasaastaritatmano buddha yatacharedvalahitam pita swayam तथा त्वमेवार्हसि न समीहुतम् त्वन्माययादा जनैः खण्डितो यदन्यदासास्तरितात्मनो बुध यथाचरेद्वालहितं पिता स्वयं तथा त्वमेवार्हसि न समीहुतम् त्वन्माययादा जनैः खण्डितो यदन्यदासास्तरितात्मनो बुध यथाचरेद्वालहितं पिता स्वयं तथा त्वमेवार्हसि न समीहुतम् तन्माययादा जनैः खण्डितो यदन्यदासास्तरितात्मनो बुध यथाचरेद्वालहितं पिता स्वयं तथा त्वमेवार्हसि न समीहुतम्. Anybody? संहितम. श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय, श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा. What your Maya by illusory energy, Adha, certainly Janaha, the people in general, Isha, O my Lord, Khandita, separated, yet because Anyat, other, Asate, they desire, Rita, real, Atmana, from the self, Abuddha, without proper understanding, Yatha, as Charit, would engage in Balaitam, the welfare of one's child, Pitaha, the father, Swayam, personally, Tatha, similarly, Tvam, your lordship, Eva, certainly, Arhasina, Samvitum, please act on my behalf. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. My Lord, due to your illusory energy, all living beings in this material world have forgotten their real constitutional position, and out of ignorance, they are always desirous of material happiness in the form of society, friendship, and love. Therefore, please do not ask me to take some material benefits from you, but as a father, not waiting for the son's demand, does everything for the benefit of the son. Please bestow upon me whatever you think best for me. Purport: it is the duty of the son to depend upon his father without asking anything from him. The good son has faith that the father knows best how to benefit him. Similarly, a pure devotee does not ask anything from the Lord for material benefit, nor does he ask anything for spiritual benefit. The pure devotee is fully surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord, and the Lord takes charge of him, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 18.66, Am tuham sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. The Father knows the necessities of the Son and supplies them, and the Supreme Lord knows the necessities of the living entities and supplies them sumptuously. Therefore, the Upanishad states that everything in this material world is complete, Purnamidam. The difficulty is that due to forgetfulness, the living entities create unnecessary demand and entangle themselves in material activities. The result is that there is no end to material activities, life after life. Before us, there are varieties of living entities, and everyone is entangled in transmigration and activities. Our duty is simply to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead and let Him take charge, for He knows what is good for us. Prithu Maharaj therefore tells the Lord that as the Supreme Father, He may elect to bestow whatever He considers beneficial for Prithu Maharaj. That is the perfect position of the living entity. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us in his Sikshastakam, न धनम न जनम न सुंदरिम कविताम वा जगदीश कामय मम जन्मनि जन्मनि स्वरे भवतात् भक्ति रहे तु की त्वयि. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor have I any desire to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service in my life, birth after birth. The conclusion is that the pure devotee should not aspire after any material benefit from devotional service, nor should he be enamored by fruity activities of philosophical speculation. He should always be engaged favorably in the service of the Lord. That is the highest perfection of life. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Nama Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Yadhati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyev Cha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम राम. प्लीज फॉरगेट. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Hare Krishna. So, this is the prayers by King Prithu, who is the Sakyaves avatar, who is situated transcendentally. Is Sakyaves avatar. He is always in transcendental platform. So, so the level of prayers are very high, but very educative. So since I am very at low level, so my understanding and my speaking will be not of that quality. So please forgive me. Please bless me so that I can speak something uh, for in progressive way which purify our hearts actually. Thank you very much. Please. So I seek blessings from all devotees, especially His Grace Anandmay Prabhu, to speak on this verse. First, I will try to speak on 30 verse only, even though I was told to speak on 31st. We'll see. If it remains, then 31 can be continued later on. So Prabhupada says in the purport, so you have said to your unalloyed devotees certainly very much bewildering. The allurements you offer in the Vedas are certainly not suitable for pure devotees. People in general, bound by the sweet words of the Vedas, engage themselves again and again in fruity activities, enamored by the result of their actions. So, here Prabhupada says that, referred to Narottam Das Thakur, a great Acharya, were very much attached to the fruitive activities. So a person who is attached to fruitive activities, just Hari Hari Vifale Janama Ganainu Manushya Janama Paya Radha Krishna Navajiya Janiya Suniya Vishakhainu. So he speaks, Narottam Das Thakur. So we got this human form of life. But if we are not interested in doing devotional service or doing bhajan for Radha Krishna, we'll be wasting time, we'll be eating wish, poison. All these material things we consider as a poison, vishakhainu, if you are not interested in Radha Krishna actually. So, very much attached to the fruitive activities. Normally, we have to eat, we have to, all our necessities of our body is there, we have to fulfill it, but we should not be completely devoted, means engaged only in fulfilling those activities, bodily activities actually. And, and in the Vedas also, there are sections, because when we have come here, the Lord has given us the Vedas to how to act in this material world. This knowledge is given in the Vedas. Vedas have 3 sections: Karma Kand, Jnana Kand and Upasana Kand. So here it says, if one is only in Karma Kand and Jnana Kand, he is certainly doomed. Means he will be entangled here. He will get down and down. He will go down and down only. So what are these? Karma Kanda, which is speaks about fruitive activities. Jnana Kanda, philosophical research. And Upasana Kanda, so we have to worship of different demigod for receiving material benefits. So all are which providing how to live better and better in this material world, and Jnana Kanda to know about is philosophical research, speculation actually, means research is there, so know about the truth actually. So Prabhupada says, those who are involved only in Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda are doomed, in the sense that everyone is doomed who is entrapped by this material, whether it is a body of demigod, king or lawyer, animal, whatever, whoever he may be here. So just like we say the Janma Aishwarya Sutasri. So by the birth, even a person is a demigod, is a king, or small animal, whoever he may be, having mm, taken birth in a great family and having all opulences and beauty and the knowledge, but if they are only involved in karma kanda, fulfilling fruity activities which are relating to our gross body and subtle bodies. So, ahara nidra bhayamaitunam cha. So, just for eating, sleeping, defending, and producing children, getting enjoyment. So, these are uh, are called fruity activities of relating to body, and also fruity activities like getting more in knowledge all there about this world. uh, these are also, and all these fruity activities, the center is I actually. So what is this world, what I am going to get it, is all his exchange is for what I am going, what is there for me actually. This is all fruity activities actually. And the suffering of the threefold misery of material are the same. So one is having high mm, birth, opulences, all these things. Even those who are animals, the sufferings are same. That janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam actually. These are there, and threefold miseries: adhyatmic, adibhautik, and adidaivik. Adhyatmic relating to our body and mind. Adibhautik, thus sufferings comes from other living entities, and adidaivik, the prakop or anger of the Daivis, those who are on the controller of the this material world, and by them we get all these different types of tsunami and earthquake and all these things. So these are the actually anyone has to take birth, then go through disease, old age, and finally death. So these are applicable to all. Though cultivation of knowledge of understand one spiritual also to a certain extent waste of time. So then from the karma kanda, person wants to, then he get frustrated to certain extent. He wants to know the spiritual position. This, I'm not this body, I am spiritual soul actually. So it's good beginning, but Prabhupada says it's waste of time because it is not conclusive actually. It is better than Karmakanda. Jnanakanda is superior to Karmakanda. But this is also waste of time because it is not getting us to conclusion actually. And conclusion is that uh, we are part and parcel of the Lord. That is the conclusion. If this is Jnanakanda is not concluding to this, our eternal relationship that we are part and parcel of Lord Krishna. Mamaivanso jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manasastan indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. So we are struggling here with our mind and five senses. Manasastan indriyani. In this material world, prakriti sthani karshati. We are struggling for our existence, our happiness, and although we are part and parcel, mame vanso jiva loke. Not that now also we can say that I am the son of so and so, son of so and so. But we are eternally apart. Mame jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana. Eternally we are the part and parcel. So that we have to know our eternal relationship. Actually, we are searching here actually for our happiness, and happiness lies in uh, happiness, that our fulfillment of desires are there. If our desires are fulfilled, then we'll be happy. But we don't know what type of desires will give us the happiness. One is the desires means fulfillment of senses and our mind. Uh, So when we are going to feed our senses and fulfill our mind's desires, so yeah, the struggling is increasing more and more actually here. Without knowing this ultimate, uh, our eternal relationship with the Lord. So, so this Jnana Kanda, just knowing that I am not this body, I am a spiritual soul, but what spiritual soul's needs are there, wants are there, that also we must have to inquire actually. And then unless we know that we are a part and parcel of Lord, our this inquisitiveness search will be incomplete. Parabhavasta vadabodha jato yavan jigya sata atma tattvam yavat kriyasta vadaidam manovai karmatmakam yena sarira bandha, will be defeated again and again. So what is this parabhava? We will be defeated. Parabhavasta, bodha jato. Unless we know bodh, we have to get awareness, not simply, you have to realize actually bodha jato. Parabhavasta, vada bodha jato. Yavan, unless we have jigyasa, inquisitiveness, atma tattvam. Atma tattvam is not knowing simply that I am not body, I am spirit soul. What is the atma tattvam? Lord Krishna says, Manushyanam sahastresu yaschit katati siddhe yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvata. So, Atma Tattva means unless we know the Lord Tattvata, we cannot know the Atma Tattva perfectly. And out of thousands and thousands Manushyanam sahastresu, if only few people, Kaschin Mam, Manushanam, Yaschit Katati Siddhe, few people get perfection in knowing this. Yatatam api Siddhanam. And out of those who are perfecting their lives, Kaschin Mam Veti Tatu. So very rare soul is there who understand the Lord and who understand our eternal relationship with the Lord. And act on that relationship. Is a very, so Prabhupada says here, actually. So, living into his eternal partner, his immediate business is to engage himself in devotional service. That is the immediate business. If we don't know this conclusion and the conclusion of the Vedas, then we will be baffled or we will be bewildered and will be looking for our happiness in Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda actually. And also we are trying to fulfill this Karma Kandi or our desires. We go to different demigods who are the controller of this material world to fulfill our desires. They all are called material desires. Unless so, unless we have pure spiritual desires, simply knowing that I am spiritual is the desire. This is the only knowledge. We have to have the desire to have our spiritual relationship with the Lord. So Lord is the supreme spiritual being. We are the tiny spiritual being, and we are part and parcel, and our only, here Prabhupada says, immediate business, only business we can say, is to engage himself in devotional service. Our suffering is because of our forgetfulness. So, unless we remove our forgetfulness of this relationship, then we'll be suffering more and more here. So, Prithu Maharaj therefore says that the allurement of material benediction is another trap. So, Lord is giving karma, Lord has given the Vedas, and people are getting allured, get attracted, because our desires are material, and Vedas are also giving karma kanda and jnana kanda, upasana kanda, to fulfill those desires in dharmic way, in religious way. Vedas are there religious. There is a karma, vikarma. So persons are fulfilling their material desires without in adharmic way also. So at least people following Vedas, they are fulfilling their desires in dharmic way. But this is entanglement is there. So entanglement is that karmic karma bandhana. Atma tattvam yavat kriyastavad idam manovai karmatmakam yena sarir bandha. He cannot get free from sarir bandha. Means again and again he has to take bodies. There are different bodies are designed to give the fulfillment of different desires actually. 84 lakh species are there. So they are the platform on which we can fulfill our different desires. And the human life is given to get free from this karmic reaction, karmatmakam ena sarir bandha. Get free from all karmic reaction and no more material bodies actually. Jnana kanda, because they are so much attached to material things, so they think, okay, when they are frustrated, they think, okay, there is nothing in this material world, so give up everything. Jagat mithya. Brahma satya, jagat mithya. That is another bewilderment. First bewilderment, we have material desires. Another, when we are frustrated, jagat mithya. Brahma satya, jagat mithya. Brahma means there is spiritual being. That is there. So, he therefore frankly tells, who is Lord Prithu Maharaj telling? The Lord that the Lord's offering of benediction in the form of material facilities are certainly cause for bewilderment. So he's frankly telling, Lord, you are getting bewildered because you are given more and more facilities to fulfill material desires actually in dharmic way. But it's very bewildering. But a pure devotee is not interested at all in this all, neither bhukti or mukti. Bhukti mukti siddhi kami sakale asant. Krishna bhakta niskam atayo sant. Because they are not getting peace. And when there is no peace, no happiness, no satisfaction. The base of happiness is peace actually. So bhukti, mukti, but a pure devotee is not interested. Bhukti means fulfill the material desires. Bhukti. And when the material desires are frustrated, then he wants mukti actually. Oh, I want to get rid of all this material from the material world. I don't want to fulfill material, because you get one, because when we fulfill our desires, more and more material desires, the one will get frustrated actually. So, but here says Prabhupada in narration, because Lord has to provide everyone. he is considering all his part and parcel. So in one Vedas, he is giving all this knowledge for everyone. Even for, so slowly, this is called pravritti marga, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Religiously follow the rules given by the Lord and earn the money, wealth to get all this, fulfill their desires, and after fulfilling desires, go for liberation. But that is not the ultimate. Liberation is not the ultimate. Liberation is the frustration of the material world, actually. So sometimes Lord give benedictions. That's why Lord comes and we see Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, everyone also, please ask for benediction. Here also he is asking for Kring benediction. You ask for benediction. So Kring but already Kring Prithu has rejected in his prayers. These all are worthless benediction, actually. Even liberation is useless. Because learned men will not go for liberation. Only bewildered persons who are confused. And they first will go for material desires. If they are not fulfilled or frustrated with, then go for liberation. Because Lord is Mukti Pradata. But that is not Lord's real glory, actually. So, then he seek for worthy benediction. What is the worthy benediction? He says, I want to have millions of ears to hear about your glories. At least that is worthy benediction. But since we are born with so many desires, one cannot ask to that hear about the glories. As long as I think that I have to fulfill my desire, then I will go for fulfilling my desires, material desire only. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Lord therefore says, sincere devotee who is not very intelligent may ask. So, person who was less intelligent only ask benefit from the Lord. But Lord, when he sees the sincerity of the devotee, he may not award the material benediction to the Lord. Even sometime ask, just like Dhruva Maharaj asked. Dhruva Maharaj actually did the austerity for getting the very big kingdom. But he was very sincere. So then he himself asked the Lord, I was foolish to ask you like this. So Lord is so merciful when he sees a sincere devotee. So he not award the material benefits, but he says here that give material takes away whatever material facilities are being enjoyed by sincere devotees. This Lord's mercy is there, actually. So that ultimately the one has to surrender to the Lord. This is very typical. Actually, that is what the problem is there. Surrender to Lord. Unless we know this, our eternal relationship, surrender is like a just giving up our independence. This is the very. And no one wants to give independence, wants to keep independence. And Lord says, use your independence for surrender. That is actually, because we have limited independence, not unlimited independence. So, in other words, the offering of benediction in the form of material profit is never auspicious. Never auspicious. So, even the statement of Vedas in Bhagavad Gita says about yamam imam puspitam vacham pravadanti vipassita. The less intelligent person will go for that part where it gives flowery language. You do this, you will get this. You do this, you will get this. They get attracted. But Lord wants those who are so degraded, them also to come to a certain level, to follow the Vedas. First, those who are disobedient, to make them obedient. It's not fully obedient, at least to start obedience actually. Attracted by the following language. So, and so that the person who want to fulfill desire, instead of fulfilling in a dharmic way, he start fulfilling dharmic way actually. But what happens? Ultimately, they take body. Karmatmakam yena sarir bandha. In search of and fulfilling those desires, in search of happiness, the different bodily, very, very hard way actually. This is very, very hard way. So, what is the ultimate means that we have to see next? When we see the next verse, we'll see what to ask and how to ask to know this. So I will conclude here, even though I have been asked to speak on 31st sloka. I have completed 30th. Whoever come tomorrow will speak on 31st. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. You have any questions or anything to ask? Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Anybody, you want to ask anybody? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam. Prabhu, surrendering means what? Surrendering means what, Prabhu? Exact.
Surrendering means?
Exact. What we, how one can do surrender? What exactly? Because what we understand is following the instructions of the mentor who shows the path to the God, Lord. So, what is meant by surrendering exact?
Surrendering means actually surrendering to Lord. But this process is completed by the person who have to take shelter, who has already surrendered to the Lord. He will guide us how to surrender actually. So, because we are not yet ready, so what he'll say? Start from somewhere, accept relationship, cultivate relationship, execute relationship, perfect relationship. The perfection of relationship is surrender. So he gives the process, gradual. Accept relationship, start doing some seva. Accept relationship. That we are having relationship with the Lord. So start serving Him, and we start Sravanam, Kirtanam, speak about Him, hear about Him, speak about Him, we are chanting, glorify about Lord. This is the beginning is there. But it has to go, then that is cultivate. Then when we want to cultivate relationship, we have to do more and more. Then we have to do with mindful way. First we are unmindful, mindful, then execution of relationship. If you want that desperation, that I want your relationship, Lord, somehow I am not at somehow are not comfortable, means when we jigyasa, because how the jigyasa, these desires comes, the two parts is there. That is, one is our internal security is there. When we get convinced that Lord is the provider, maintainer, protector, then we get the security. Why not to Lord? Because why we are hard working here? For our security actually. Then from that security, the love, because without security, love will not. Just like father-son relationship, son is very secured in under father. and he loves Father. Without security, that loving propensity will not come. That's why surrender involves rakshishyatiti viswaso goptrapte varnam tatha. Surrender has these parts that Lord is the protector. Rakshishyati. He will protect me in all circumstances and he will provide me whatever required for me. So it is a gradual process. Start with serving him, and it unless we surrender to Lord, we cannot understand Lord completely. So you are asking? No. This is the surrender. So in the you are telling that we are not being told about surrender, but gradually it will be there actually. But it is there, surrendering to Lord, because the this is the science of relationship, and relationship means we are completely secured and sheltered and under the Lord's loving, what is Lord's loving nature, and he is all, because Aham Sarvaj, he is not only loving because he is all, that's why called no, he is having all Aishwaryas, he is all strength, all wealth, all material world, spiritual, everything is his only actually. So he can, even the sun, moon, whatever, what we are thinking that all these things are being provided by some demigods and all these things, they are all been following the orders of the Lord actually. So when they are following and we are asking, suppose when we go to a Lord is the president and all are his servants and serving in different positions. So when we are going and seeking something from them, why not Lord gives? Because Lord is the provider for everyone actually. So ultimately when we take shelter, so Lord's give the arrangement from different sources, directly, indirectly, whatever he can give. So ultimately is the bhakti concludes with surrender actually. That is a Suddha bhakti. And the Sikshastakam says about this actually. I will come to it that Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam visame bhavambudo kripaya tava pada pankaja istita duli sadrisam vichintaye. Please consider me a dust, dust into your lotus feet, please. So we have to completely, because when we know the Lord's supremacy in in all sides, then we'll surrender to Lord only. So sorry that I have spoken this verse, and maybe 31st verse, whoever comes tomorrow will speak on. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.